Okay, so good evening everyone. My name is Ritika Patil and today we'll be dealing with the topic iterations in Python. Okay, firstly we'll look into what an iteration is. Then we'll look at looping through an iterator. Then we'll go to create an iterator and then we'll see how to stop that iteration. All right, firstly, Python iterators. Now, you know that iterators mean repeating itself, isn't it? Okay, but in Python, iterator is an object. Okay, we had a class, we have an object, right? So here iterator is an object. Okay, that contains certain values, certain variables it contains. Okay, what type of variables are they? They are numbers. Okay, they are finite numbers of values present in an object called as iterator. Okay, when we use an iterator, okay, in our code, I am telling that iterator object to go through all the values present inside it object. Okay, suppose I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 saved inside my iterator, and I'll write print ite. Then it should print me all the 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. Okay, that is, you're going to travel through each and every value, right? Right from the first value to the fourth value. Okay, that's how an iterator works. Now, nextly, we know that iterator is an object. Okay, now objects contain methods, I told you. Methods are nothing but functions. All right. So what type of methods do we have here? We have two types. Okay, one is iter, that is short for iteration, iter method, and the other one is next. Okay. Now, we'll go to first iter function. All right. Now you can see here, tuple here is the set. Okay, a set of arrays over here. You can see here, right? Like list. Now, I'll tell you what this example is going to do, all right? Now, this is a simple example. What it's going to do is, this set of my tuple contains 3 values. That is apple, banana, and cherry. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, I am going to put this values inside my iter object. Okay, my iter object will now have all the values of my tuple. Okay. Now, what will happen is, I am going to print this my IT that contains iterations of apple, banana, and cherry. Okay. Now, if you see here, the first print, print next my IT here tells me that it is going to print apple first. Okay. And then print next my IT is going to print banana. Okay. And then print next my IT is going to print cherry. All right. I'll run it in the code to let you guys know how it's working. I'm gonna change the screens. Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to move my screens over here. Yes. I hope everybody can see the screen. Okay. It's an online Python compiler or interpreter, you can say. Yeah. Now carefully look at the right side of the screen. I'm going to run this code and see what is the output. Okay, clear? I told you the first printing statement will print apple, the second statement will print banana, and the third statement will print cherry. All right. Now see, if I remove the middle one, if I remove the print statement from the middle one, okay, I'll run it now. Okay, you observe there is only 2 values that are being printed. Okay, now you have a question. You'll have a question that, ma'am, you're going to remove the print from the middle line. Then why is it displaying banana? Isn't it? Now this, the position of the print is not mattering when we are displaying the values. Okay, if you give two print statements and we have three values, it will take the first two values and display it on the screen. Okay, it doesn't matter if you are taking out the middle print or the top print. Okay, it all depends on the number of printing statement. Okay, now see, we have used. Okay. Hello. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. As you can see, it doesn't depend on the position of the printing statement. Okay. It depends on the number of printing statements that you guys have. All right. Now I'll try to remove this printing statement as well. I'm going to run it now. See, it is printing the first variable, right? Yes, that's what we are going to do. Now, carefully go through the code and you'll observe that we have used both iter and next function over here, isn't it? Iter is the iteration function and next is the next function. Okay, this is the basic example of iteration in Python. Go through this once and let me know if you guys have any doubts. Okay, I'll discuss another method of iteration as well. I'll just move my screen. All right. Okay, done here. Next is here. Okay. Now, if you look at this example, what we're going to do is, first of all, we have only one value inside my str. That stands for my string, isn't it? To this variable, we only have one value. Now, here I'm specifying string, right? So what I want in my output is each letter of this word to be displayed in a separate line. Okay, previously we had one word for each line, right? So in this case, we're going to display a letter for each line. Okay, let me move my screen so you guys will understand. Yeah, give me 1 second. I hope the screen is visible. All right. Okay. Now, here you can see on the right side, I have my output. That is BANANA. That is written separately, one below the other. Okay, that is possible because we are reading each character of the string. Okay, so my str equals to banana. I am going to transfer this value banana into my iter function with the help of my str value variable. Okay, and the printing statements are the number of characters present in banana. It has 6 characters or 6 letters inside banana. So we are using 6 print statements. Okay. Now you'll have a doubt. If we are going to make the code lengthier, why do we have to use this iteration method? Why do we have to use this next method? Right. To make this easier, in the sense to get the same output with one printing statement, we are going to use the looping statements. Okay, that is for loop. Okay. For that, I'm going to move my slide for a second. I'll go back to my presentation. Yeah, here. Okay, here you can see that this example is equivalent to my first example. This one, right? Where I wanted to print all the 3 values, right? This example and this example are same. If you look closely, the required output is the same. Okay, but here you can see that this is a 3-line code including printing, and here it makes up the 5-line code. Okay, with the help of for loop, we are going to make this code smaller and less space is being used. Okay, we'll quickly run this example and see how it is working. All right. Okay, give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay. I hope everybody is able to look at the screen. Now see, right? It's the same thing, right? Instead of writing the printing statement 3 times, because we have 3 different values, we're going to use a variable x. Okay? That is, x denotes the number of variables present in my tuple. Okay? This x is the length of the values or the number of values present in the my tuple variable. Okay, and we are going to print this x number of times. I mean, all the values of x will be printed in the print. Okay? Yes. I hope I'm clear with this topic. Next. Yeah. Now see, the same way for characters, how we're going to do? We're directly going to use the for in my str, that is my string, and then we're going to print the values in the x. Okay, that is B, A, N, A, N, A separately. All right. Any doubts so far? Okay, if there is any doubt, please let me know in the chat box. Okay, I hope there is no other doubts. All right. Yes. Now we have seen what an iterator is, and we have seen the methods inside the iterator, and we have gone through the looping statements in an iterator, and we have also seen a couple of examples. Now we are going to see how to create an iterator. Okay. Now, as I told you, iterator is an object in Python. Okay. Now, iter and next are the functions or methods present inside your iterator object. Okay. Now, similar to next and iter function, we have another function called as init, that is initializing. Right. Whenever you're writing a code, it always has an initializing function inside it. Okay. As I told you in the before classes, initializing function is a must. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, the function of iter and initializing is similar. Okay, but the only difference is in the initializing, we are going to return the value 0 or 1, right? But inside iter method or iter function, we are going to return the object itself. Okay, we are not going to return the 0 or 1 values. We are going to return the object only. Okay, the same with next. But the only difference is if you have three variables, it will return the value of the next variable. Suppose you are supposed to return second variable, but it will return the value of third variable. Okay, that is the only difference between iter and initializing function. All right, be very careful. In iter, the object itself is being returned. Okay, and in the next item in the sequence, as it is mentioned in the point, will be returned. Okay. I hope I'm clear with this one. Now, here is an example. Okay. Now, I want my output to be displayed as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So, for that, we are going to make use of iter function, next function. Okay. And we're going to get our outputs. Just wait a second. Let me move my screens. Yeah. Okay. As you can see, here on my left hand side, I have the following function. Okay. Now, just focus on the highlighted statements. All right. Now here I have given the name to my class. That is, I have defined a class inside which I have defined iter. Okay, iteration function is being defined over here, and the object created is self. Okay, inside the brackets we have self, inside the bracket we have self, right? That is the object that we are creating. Okay, and inside this, I am inside the self, there is an a, that is a variable, and that variable has the value 1. That is equivalent to a equals to 1. Okay, but the only difference is this variable is present inside the self. That is a part of iter function. Okay. Now, see carefully. I told you self is an object. Okay. And in the iter function, we are going to return the object. In our case, it is self because self is the name of the object. All right. I hope I'm clear with this one. Nextly, we'll look at the next function. Okay. We are defining the next function. DEF here stands for define. Next function is being utilized and inside which the object remains same. That is self. All right. Now, carefully see here. Self of A. Okay. Previously, we told that it is equivalent to 1, right? Now, here what I'm going to do is x equals to self dot A. That is as good as x equals to 1. Okay. X equals to 1. All right. Here x is the object. No, x is the, next is the, x is the variable. Okay. Now see here. I want the value of x to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. To do that, what we have to do is self dot A is, we know that 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. So now 2 plus 1 will be 3. Then 3 plus 1 will be 4. Then 4 plus 1 will be 5. Right. And at the end, we are going to return x. I told you, in the next function, we are not going to return the object. We are going to return the last item on the sequence. Okay. Yes, that is the difference between next and iter method. Okay, next is we are going to use these functions for printing our output. All right, the same as before ones. All right, your class is being defined or it is being called over here. Okay, and iter is being called over here. Done. Yes, and after we run it, we get the following outputs: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, this is the output that we get. All right. Now, I hope everyone is clear with this example. All right. Now, is it visible clearly? I hope so. Okay. Yeah. I hope everyone is clear with the example. If there is any doubt regarding this example or regarding today's topics, please let me know in the chat box. I'll clear them. Okay. I take it as there is no more doubts. All right. Now, see, we have gone through what is an iteration. Okay, what are the methods of iteration? We know that we have two methods. One is iter and we have next function or next method. Then we have gone through the looping statements, that is for loop. All right. Then we have seen how to create an iterator. Okay, and we have also seen a couple of examples along with these. Now we'll go to the last topic, that is how to stop an iteration. Okay. Now, why is it used? Okay. Now, iteration, you know that it is repeating itself, right? Okay, but sometimes what happens, if we are not mentioning that this loop has to stop somewhere, I mean, after some value, it will be continued till infinite times. Okay. And if a loop is being continued to an infinite times, our PC or our computer will become hot and it will cause some internal damages. Okay. To stop that from happening, we have to put a stop to that iteration because we don't want the iteration to go on forever and ever, right? Yeah. So what we're going to do is, I'll tell you with this example. Okay. Now, I want my output to stop after 20 iterations. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, here in the condition itself, I'll put a stop. If the value of self.a exceeds 20, that is, if it becomes 21 or greater than that, this value should come out of the loop. Okay. And iteration should be stopped. Or I can also give it like this, not or, and I also have to mention stop iteration. Okay. This will be activated, or this stop iteration will be of use when the value of self.a or the value of x will be greater than 20. Okay. In this case. Now let me quickly copy this code into our compiler and I'll let you know how it works. All right. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. Yes, you can see it over here. I'm running the following code. I'll run it again. Yes. Okay. Now here you can observe that the iterations, the values that are being displayed starts from 1 to 20. Okay. Generally, if we don't mention that self.a will be equals to 1, what it will do is the iteration will start from 0. Okay. We have mentioned here self.a equals to 1. That's why it starts from 1. Okay. And because we are using iter function or iter method, we are going to return the value of object, or we are going to return the object itself, that is self here. Okay. And we have next over here. Here you are going to return x. Okay. Just look at the condition. If self.a is less than or equals to 20, execute the following statements. That is, x value will be equals to self.a. Okay. Now self.a is firstly it is 1, right? So 1 plus 1, 2 will be displayed, then 2 plus 1, 3 will be displayed. So on, it will be displayed until 19 plus 1 is equals to 20. Okay. The minute it will be like 20 plus 1 equals to 21, this statement will come out of the loop. That is, the value of x will be returned back. Okay. And the iteration will be stopped using raise stop iteration. All right. Here, after that, my class is being called, and then iter function is being called, and the x values are being printed over here. Okay. This is pretty much about today's topic. Please let me know if you guys have any doubts. I'll give you 2 minutes. Anybody has any doubts, let me know in the chat box. All right, I'll clear them. Okay, you want me to explain looping statement once again? Okay, I'll just explain it to you with the same example if you have no problem with that. Yeah. Okay. No, what I'll do is I'll take the before example only. That is a simple one. Yeah, I'll go to my screen. Yes. Now see. Here, if you're using in some other language, what you're going to do is you're going to print the same statements 10 or 20 times, right? That is why you're going to use an iterating statement. Okay, but here what you're going to do is you're going to print the values of x or the values of any variable. In my example, my tuple is a variable containing apple, banana, and cherry as values. Okay, or as data inside my variable. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is x is equals to my tuple, or the x value will contain apple, banana, and cherry inside of it. Okay. Now, what for will do is, instead of writing print statement, like this 3 times, what I can do is I can simply write for, okay, for x. That means for 3 variables that are present inside my tuple variable, I am going to print the value of variables. Okay. Now, suppose I have one more value over here. Then it is as good as printing or writing the print statement 4 times. Instead of that, I am going to write the print statement only once. Okay. And inside that, I'm going to write x. Okay. Now here, what this for statement will do is, it will say that x is nothing but the number of variables present inside my tuple. Okay. Now, in this case, x value is 3. 1, 2, 3, right? So, all the 3 values will be printed in x. Okay. For loop will do the work of 3 print statements. Okay. Clear with this one? Or you still have any doubts? Okay. Any other doubts? Please let me know. I'll explain again. Yes, in the same way, we can print up to 20 numbers. Okay, I'll go to that example and I'll show you how it is done. We have used the same thing over here. No, it is not long code. What we are going to do is, see, we are going to, first of all, I want this A value to be present inside self object. Okay. I want to put my values inside a particular object. So that code is longer. If you want to directly print 20 numbers, that is numbers from 1 to 20, you don't have to follow all this step. Because I want to put my variables into a self object, just to make you guys clear with the ITER and next function, I've used the long code. Okay, to print 1 to 20, you don't have to use this long code. You just have to put in the required condition and write for x in my ITER print x. Okay. Or what you can do is x equals to x plus or equals to 1. Then for x in A you can take. Okay. Then print x. That you can do. All right. Okay. Okay, then I'll end today's class if you guys have no more doubts. If you guys have any doubts, don't hesitate to text me. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Good evening. Okay, goodbye, everyone.